Hi guys, welcome back. So let's go through some selection changes I might make in this coming weekend's round of fixtures. And what a list of fixtures it is, absolutely massive. Preview them a little bit. And really I want to know what you guys think, what's going to happen in these games. What selection changes would you make? So we've got England, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, Scotland, South Africa and Wales, Fiji. Four really great fixtures, absolutely action-packed stuff. Can't wait, and all the teams have played at least one game. So let's get into England versus Australia. Now, England beat Tonga 69-3. So a massive win, some good tries there, and if it wasn't for some missed kicks, would have been obviously a higher score as well. But Tonga didn't put up the greatest resistance, apart from some big shots and some big carries. Technically, they weren't really at the races at all. They should be better going forward, but is it a good build-up for Australia? Well, a little bit, but could have been better. Certainly they got to run their new systems, which was good in a game situation, but certainly I think a massive step up for Australia. Australia already incredibly battle-hardened. And talking of battle-hardened, they've had so many battles, they really are short now on star performers through injury and through the fact their clubs wouldn't let them play. And it really is only Super Michael Hooper left out. We've got Cooper out, by far their best 10. Karevi, one of the best 12s, if not the best 12 in the world. Coram Betty, a fantastic winger, he's out, and now it looks like maybe Tupou, their impactful prop, is out as well. That's a massive ouch for Australia, and I do think it puts them right on the back foot and actually makes England favourites, to be honest, with all those guys out. But certainly could go either way. Australia have been playing well as well, so should be a great game. Australia, they'll want to execute an awful lot better than versus Scotland. I thought they were pretty sloppy, to be honest, with a decent team. They got some good line-out possession, got in some good positions and couldn't build that pressure. England, injury-wise, looking pretty good, to be honest. Farrell is back available following his kind of positive, then negative test, which was a bit weird. So he's back available. And here is the starting team I would go for. Very similar with two changes. Genge, George and Sinclair. I think certainly, the running, handling style that England were playing against Tonga really suits these guys. Sinclair, I said, did give away a few penalties, but his handling really suits this game. Itoje and Hill look like potentially the starting pairing going forward. Hill, I think, improving a bit all the time. Laws obviously was on fire last game. They keep him as captain. I would move Curry into 7. Really pretty wasted at 8 for me. Also, Underhill took a knock on Saturday, so maybe he's out anyway, or you'd want to rest him. And Dombrandt, get him in there. He's probably going to make some mistakes, but he needs to learn. And just the balance looks perfect to me. Dombrandt with his handling and his awareness, Curry with his work, Lord with his big hits and his line-out work, his defensive work. It just looks right to me. At 9, Young Stays had one of his liveliest performances for England for ages, probably down to the fact that he's been told not to kick as much and actually run it a bit, which is great. Would I start Farrell? Well, definitely not, actually. Not because Farrell actually has been playing badly for Saracens. It's just Smith's been on fire. He looked great last match, and you wouldn't break up Tuilagi and Slade, who looked like a perfect combination, both fit and in good form. So either start Farrell or Smith for me. If you played Smith 10, Farrell 12, I think that'll be a massive waste of that combination of Tuilagi and Slade. Anyway, I don't think it will happen. I'm sure Farrell will start, and I think he's probably going to start at 10 with Smith on the bench. Anyway, then Radwan on one wing, who is electric, needs to improve his skills, similar to May, but certainly worth having. May on the other wing, and Stewart getting some more experience at fullback. So let me know the changes you guys would make and how you see this game going. I'm giving the edge slightly to England. Moving on to Ireland versus New Zealand. This could be the game of the weekend. In the previous round, Ireland smashed Japan with one of the best performances I've seen from Ireland for a long time, especially considering they're playing a new attacking system with low rucks, high continuity, Completely the opposite of Joe Schmidt's era. That's really interesting to see. New Zealand, well, they've come off the back of a really poor game actually versus Italy, even though they won fairly handily on the scoreboard. But these were their second choice players, many of which didn't put their foot forward to make the first team, like Mackenzie. Ainor had a little bit of a shocker, but the guys who played against the USA will be back, so it's going to be a full charge New Zealand team. They're going to be favourites, I think, because they are New Zealand, currently the best team in the world, according to the rankings, but Ireland could give them a massive game. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Can they implement their attacking strategy against New Zealand, who will certainly be a lot better than Japan? I think it certainly would have made New Zealand sit up and take notice and go, well, hang on, this is a completely different Ireland team, and would it have changed some of their plans midweek? That will be interesting. Here's my team. Would I make any changes? No, I can't see any reason to make any changes. Front row was excellent, especially considering the new way they're attacking. Same with Byrne. Ryan's looking fit again, which is great. And Doris van der Fleer and Conan super fit this game plan with that handling of Conan especially. Gibson Park I thought might be pushed close by Murray, but the amount of ball he got against Japan, I don't think you can knock him off, but certainly I still think that spot is up for grabs. Sexton was great. I think no threat from Carberry or anyone else yet from what I've seen. In the centres, Aki and Ringrose were decent. Ringrose especially, I thought, impressed. Lowe had a much better game, but no, he's great in attack. He loves that sort of high-action game, getting involved all the time. When he's under severe pressure, that is the question mark, and we might see a bit more of that against New Zealand. Conway was almost technically perfect, so he's surely got to keep his spot and Keenan at fullback. So let me know what you think about this game. Would you make any changes to Ireland? I certainly give the edge to New Zealand just because of the way they've been playing in the Rugby Championship. But Ireland were looking $1 million versus Japan. Can they get anywhere near that versus New Zealand? If so, we're on for an absolute belter. Let's go on to Scotland versus South Africa. Scotland, a massive win against Australia. Bit of a scrappy game, but Scotland hadn't played for a while. They'll want to be a lot more clinical, but it's going to be exciting. And goodness me, they don't want rain. They want a really dry day so they can play that fast game. Maybe they could hastily construct a roof over their stadium. Anyway, against Australia, their scrum looked really good. I thought Scotland, they're going to need to be against South Africa, so that's going to be fascinating. The high ball game wasn't really stressed, so versus South Africa, that should be completely different, so that'll be interesting. Some of their back three maybe not as good under the high ball as they are at a running game. And Scotland need long periods of possession if they're going to win. And again, that's something they didn't achieve against Australia. So they're going to need to be better. But the pieces are there. Price and Russell are a halfback quality combo completely on top of their game. Whereas Herschel Yantes, I'm not sure is quite close to the de Klerk quality. Pollard's not enjoying his best reign of form. So, could that be a difference? Or will the huge South African physicality be the downfall of Scotland? We will see. Here's a team I'd go for, just one change, and it's actually a South African coming in, Steyn on the wing. I think Graham did great, to be honest, but I think the larger size of Steyn could be useful, plus he was absolutely awesome for Scotland the other day as well. Front row, I think Showman's going to have a massive job, as is Fagerson. Showman against his countryman there. That will be an interesting battle. Keep going with Ashman. He looks ready for international rugby, plus they haven't got a lot of hookers at the moment anyway. And then the team as is. Hamish Watson was awesome. Price and Russell I mentioned, very impressive, as was Van der Merwe. Johnson, Harris. It's a tough midfield there. They've got enough physicality, but still against South Africa, they can blow anyone away. Let me know how you think this is going to go. I think with South Africa's physicality, I might just edge them, but it's going to be super tight. Scotland, if they beat Australia and South Africa in a row, just absolutely amazing. Let me know what you think. So finally, let's get on to Wales, Fiji. Now, Wales have had a tough time of it. Big loss against New Zealand, then that close battle against South Africa. Two huge games. So they could rest players, but I'm just going to assume they're going to play their best team, but they may well mix it up. It's probably a must-win game for them. It's the one game you think they probably should win. I think they will, to be honest. They've had to grind hard in defence so far. They've had a really good work out of their kick chase game. But what we haven't seen them have a chance to do is put their new attacking structures in place. So I would hope they do that in this game. They may well rotate, like I said. But anyway, here is the team I'd go for. 3 changes. I would change both props. I mean, they had a torrid time against South Africa. I'm sure it won't be as hard against Fiji, but still, I think I'll switch them around. Will Griff-John coming in for Francis, who did take a bit of a hammering, and probably worth seeing him anyway. One move I would go for is put Ellis Jenkins as captain. Now, before his big injury, he did look like captain material in the future anyway, and I love the way he interacts with the referee. That was really impressive. Basham 7, Wainwright at 8, a fully fit Faletau I think would take 8, but I don't think he is fit yet anyway. Thomas Williams answered many critics about his kicking game in that South African game, so looks like he has got the full package. Bigger at 10, Wales a completely different animal with him at 10, and I do make a change in the centres. Davis for me, I think his days may be up a little bit. 12 or nothing for me for Davis, but I think Tompkins deserves to be at 12, so I put Halaholo at 13. Then Adams, Rees-Zammit needs some more ball. Hopefully we will see that this game. The game against South Africa unfortunately kind of passed him by. And McNichol, 2 decent performances, so I think he holds off the returning Liam Williams. So let me know what you would do in the lineups and how you think this game will go. I'm pretty sure Wales will get a decent win on this one. So let me know how you think this game is going to go, what changes you make to the lineup, and I will catch you guys next time.